Hey guys, how you doing? Alright, let's do it. One sec, I just want to check one thing out. Okay. So check. If it comes here, then we have checkmate. Check. It comes there. Checkmate. It changes nothing. We got it. Check. Check there, and then here. I doubt that, but let's see. I think our idea works too, because I calculated it out. So let's pull this up. Alright. Oh, okay, because of that. Okay, gotcha. Gotcha, okay, gotcha. I see that now. Alright. Let's send this up again. Let's put it into the chart and get moving and a grooving. Alrighty, let's see. So rook d2. The rook seems like a target that we can actually take aim at. So potentially knight b3 check. If king c2, let's say king. Well, no, let's do king b. No, we'll do c2. Rook takes d2 check. If king takes b3, takes b3, and then rook takes d3. So we check. If we check here, he'll intercept there. Then we can actually play knight d4. Rook takes, which would force the king to the bishop to either block or the king to take, and then we're attacking his bishop. Yeah, I'm liking that. There we go. This is a peculiar one for sure. I'm thinking we can play, this is kind of an odd move, rook a1. If rook takes b5, then we have rook a8, a8 check, king takes a8, and then knight b6, double check, king b8, and then rook a8 mate. If he takes the knight, we just play rook a6 takes b4, a4. So either way we're winning. And if he plays knight takes knight b6, we can actually play knight takes knight, c takes b6, and check, king up, check, and it's mate. So either way, so this is a winning move here. I'll show you the sweet line that I was talking about. If he takes the pawn, this is a cool line here. This is just a sacrificial line. He has to take first. Then you have double check, and it blocks that. So check and check. So he has to move, and then checkmate. And then there's also this line too, if you were wondering. If the knight comes here, knight takes, pawn takes, check, checkmate. So we had it all covered. All covered, good to go, Operation Go. Looking at d3, potentially d3, that's what I'm looking at. And then bishop h4. Because checking right away does nothing but moves the king. See, d3, when we push d3 here, it actually threatens to checkmate our opponent. d3 takes away his only flight square. So if we checked here, he can actually run to e2. If we check, he can actually run down here and potentially snap this this pawn off. And if we push, then he pushes there. We actually have check here, check. He'll move back here, and then we can push onward, and we basically get a queen. Yeah. Oh, you push? Oh, because you get it gets in behind. But I still think we're okay in this line too. I still think the other eyes. Oh, I see what you're saying. It's because of this here. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, if he plays here, then yep, bishop b2 is mate. Yeah, nice job. Yeah, right there. Yeah, when he moved up here, the pawn pushes the way to go. H4 still delivers mate in 10, but this delivers mate in 2, so we did have mate. So queen f2 is interesting. If he plays queen let's see this here. This is an interesting. Queen f2, queen g1, h takes g2, queen takes g2, rook takes okay, so queen f2, queen g1, g takes or h takes g2 check, queen takes g2. I know for surety that it is this though. This is right. Oh, okay, no. Huh. Is it because of okay, because they're there. I wonder why the other one doesn't work, because we calculated that out. I want to see. That is interesting for sure. Queen g1. Oops, wrong one. Okay, so that actually wins. So h takes, okay, takes, rotates. Okay, I have to look for these tactics basically. So mate for rook h4, king g5, and then checkmate there. Okay. Well, at least we learned a new tactic there. Give it one more shot. Okay. Okay, we got to make sure 100% that we're right on this. 100%, 110%. I thought for sure that that would be a, removing the guard, but should have checked a little further, but that's okay. We'll get it back. We'll get it back. Not a problem. Okay, we have to be careful here, because if we checked, this is a possible move. So queen g5 check, knight g3, and he blocks, and so we don't want that. Boy, this is a tough one. Let's see, do we have anything else besides checking? Oh, wait a second. We could check, and then if he intercepts with the knight, we actually win. So it does work. Yep. Because of this pin here. Okay, this is a study here. I think I vaguely remember this. I'm trying to remember this setup here. Okay, let's work this out. Okay, h6. Let's take a look first at the move h6. King f7. Actually, let's say h6. King f8. If f8, then we have bishop e6. Bishop e6, because then the cover here, when we move here, this is covered. When the bishop moves here, if the king's there, that's covered, so he can't move forward. And so he would actually have to move back. So king e7, h7, and then he wouldn't be able to get it in time. I thought for sure we could push first and then have that. We had the right idea, just wrong. Whoops. I wanted to see why ours doesn't work. I think it still does. Maybe it's because he gets to come, maybe it's because he gets to move here first. Oh, so he gets in there. Okay, so we have to actually cut this off to force E7. We have to actually do that. And then H6, F6, and there. Okay. Okay, I had move sequences backwards. That's fine. That's fine. We'll get it. Almost. Okay. Let's get this rolling and a groove in here. Okay, let's take a look at first. Knight F2 is always the one you gotta look at checks. And if rook takes F2, we're gonna play queen C1. Bishop takes C1. And by the way, this is check. Rook E1. Knight takes E1. And sorry about that. I forgot to put a check again. Rook takes E1. Check again. Rook F1. Rook takes F1. Mate. Let's make sure we have that right. Knight F2. Okay, we have to think what would happen if the king moves. Well, if the king moves, then we grab the queen, and whatever happens at that point is we're up a whole queen. Even if we take the queen, he takes our rook. He's still we take the pawn back, and we're still winning because our queen's attacking a knight and another knight. So we're forking. There's just so much threat. He'd have to take at that point. Whoa. I'll show you the line that I was talking about. If he was to take, you have to work out the lines all the way to the very end. If he takes here, queen there, there you go. Okay. Rook D, rook 8 to D1. And if B4, if B4, which is that, he will probably check at that point. Actually, he can't check, so okay, D1. let's say b3. He'll play b3 because he'll try to hold on to his pawn chain. So b3, rook c2 check, bishop, oops, b2, and then we'd probably have to go rook d1 1 to d2. Oops, not d1 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 to d2. Well, maybe we have to do an in-between move. I think maybe we have to throw this in. Bishop takes c4, rook takes c4, because that removes the pawn. So then we can actually win the rook later on. Then we throw this line in here, except let's see here, paste, except this right here. When he goes there, now we can play rook takes c4. That picks up a rook in that line. Well, maybe. No, I don't think it does. Well, no, it doesn't. Because when he pushes the pawn, it's still protected. So that doesn't. We can't take the rook at that point because it's protected by the pawn. I'm believing that this is the first move here. Then we check. Oh, we grabbed the bishop. Okay, I missed that. Okay. I missed that totally. I forgot that it's okay. I should have calculated that in. I'm not the only one that missed it, so I'm not upset, but we should be attention to detail there. Well, remember, you have to learn from it's not how you remember that mistakes do not find you. The mistakes don't define you, so it's how you handle it. So we gotta do that. Yeah, treasure your victories and learn from your losses. And that's what tactics help us with. Treasure our victories and learn from our losses. Let's crunch it. Yeah, there we go. Loving it. Oh boy. So our queen's under fire, but we gotta kind of, as Jeremy Silman says, you have to kind of say, really? You kind of got to have that. Is that really affecting us? Then what you do is you come into it with a different point of view. You're no longer coming into it with a fear point of view. You're coming into it, how can I dismiss that attack as really, is it really hurting us? You have to kind of say, really, that's not hurting us. And then you can sometimes siphon your way through a big time problem that way. Boy, this is let's see, if we play rook takes c1, knight takes c1, nothing there. So we checked that out. Let's see, queen a5, c4. Queen c4. Interesting. I'm here to learn. Oh, you know what? That's always good. You know, more than welcome to help. It's all about improving and getting better and learning, like what you put in there. Oh boy, let me see. Sorry, I shouldn't do that. Wait, we sacked a piece already. So what do we do here? We were already down a whole bishop, so there has to be some forcing combination that we're having to be on the lookout for. Be on the lookout for. Yes, we do. Let's check this check out. Queen a5 check. Let's say king f1. Almost. The queen's almost trapped. Almost. Okay, so yeah, we're almost trapped there. See, if we go a5, king f1, the bishop pins the knight to the king. So boy, this is a we're missing something here. Let's see. I think that's the first move. No? So not that. Okay, so it's not that. Wow, I'm puzzled on this one. Oh. Oh, no. No, this is a tactic. Wow, that is peculiar. What's the idea behind that, though? Oh, you pick up a rook. Oh, okay. So yeah, yeah, because if then you pick up a rook. Oh, drat! You had to have seen this hanging piece right here. Okay, that's not fun. Okay. We have to be careful that see if we play rook takes h4. He's got queen d1. Let's see. Queen d1. King f2. Queen d2. Or c2. c2 check. King e1. And then he's got no more checks at that point. So rook takes h3, queen d1. King f2, queen c2, king e1, and all of his checks have been disposed of at that point. Oh, this is a sweet one. Knight takes b7 is interesting. Takes b7. Check. Rook takes b7. Queen takes c6. That's a potential idea. So it's not that. It's check. What did I miss here? C7. Okay. That's different. Gonna work out these lines a little better. there's a couple lines that you can first of all look at bishop f4, check. Let's take a look at that. Okay, bishop f4. Bishop e3. Okay, so bishop f4, that's what I'm thinking. Check. Bishop e3, e3. Bishop takes e3. This is a check. Queen takes e3, and then what do we get? Nothing. So we don't get anything. So let's check out queen takes b3, knight takes b3, bishop f2, bishop f2. I'm at f2, bishop f4, check. Knight d2, b d2. Wait a second, bishop f4 might actually work. Bishop f4, check. Bishop e3. Queen takes b3. Knight takes b3, and then bishop takes e3. Check. And we've picked up a piece. Okay, there's two checks. Bishop c1. King takes c1. And we don't acquire anything. So bishop a3. Check. King d3. Knight e5. I think that's mate. Yep. Yeah. There we go. Just rise above it. If you can do it, rise above it. Well, this is an interesting one. Rook takes e4, queen takes e4, queen e6, check, king h7, knight f7, check, rook takes f7, and queen takes e4. Let's see. Queen takes f7. After the king moves, rook f1, and basically we've almost got mate. Gotta give a little to get a lot. That'd be a good song. Give a little to get a lot. Well, this is an interesting one. Knight g4, check. Knight takes g4. Knight takes d3. And now two pieces are hanging. The bishop on e5 is hanging, and the knight on g4 is hanging. I'm just taking a little quick look to make sure it all works. I'm just playing it out in my mind. Yep, it works. You take this bishop, then the knight takes there, and you've picked up a piece. Interesting. Let's see here. So bishop. So you're saying bishop c2 check. King c1. Not sure what to do after that. We have to try to draw our opponent in. We don't want to let our opponent out of the box. Rook a1 after that. Okay. Let's continue that line. Not a problem. Rook a1 check. King d2. And I think he's free. Well, I guess you could pick up a. I see what you're saying. You're gonna pick up a rook on d3. I see what you're saying. Yeah, that makes sense. That does pick up a rook on. That does pick up a rook on d3 or d6. So you'd have to go a little further. Rook d1 check, and then if king, we'll say e3. Rook takes d6. Yeah, I see that. That's a good move as well. We just have to find out, is there any other way, like, because you can always throw in a bishop a2 check, king a1. Do we have anything after? Do we have any discoveries after king a1? Do we have anything? So you have to always plan out. If there's two checks, I believe it was Dr. I think it was Emmanuel Asker who said, or I might be Alekine, but I believe it's Emmanuel Asker that says, if you see one good move, try to find a second one, and if your first one's better than your second one, go with the first one. I really don't see any any cool discoveries or anything that we can possibly do on that. So I'm kind of siding a lot with your idea there. Let's see, bishop a2, king a1. We basically have perpetual. There's no way to avoid the queen guards c1, so that would be a pain in the drain. You could try b3, but that doesn't really do anything after that. Or yeah, I believe we pick up a let's see here. Is it? No, it's not that. Nope. So what is What did we miss? Oh, okay. Drat. So there was a discovery idea. Snap, I forgot that we can do that. That was my fault there. The other idea does win a rook, so it's not like it's not a good idea. Yeah, it does win a rook. So it's okay. Let's see here. What to do now. So queen d1. What did it give up there? I think we can actually queen here. So queen takes e1, check, rook takes e1, d2, rook d1, rook e8, h2, rook e1, king h2, rook takes d1. So we pick up a rook in that line. Yeah. There we go. Back in the fray again. Ooh, there's I'm liking this. Queen G5. Queen G5, that's a interesting idea. That attacks the rook and does a discovery on the queen. Potential discovery. Yeah. Hmm. Okay. Check. The queen there. Okay. Gotta check our idea to see why it doesn't work though. Oh, queen e8. Ah, so you could check. Gotcha. Didn't even think about the check there. My fault there. That's okay though. We'll get it. We'll get it back. Just gotta keep attention to detail. Yeah, but we'll get to 22 back to 2200s. It's just we have to have attention to detail, and they're all based on tactics. So we just have to find the proper one. Like the one that I missed was a pin. It was a pin. Okay, so now we have to. The queen basically took a rook. I mean, bishop took a rook, not a queen. We need to check to see if queen takes h2, check, king f1. Now we have knight. We have knight that can actually go to knight f4 potentially. That would be an interesting idea. Queen takes h2, king f1, knight f4. Could he actually, though, at that point play knight d6? Knight d6, check. King b8. Oh, I think we're walking into a smother mate. Queen d6. Yikes. Check. King a8. Ouch. Yep, we'd be walking into a smother mate. We don't want to walk into that. We don't want to walk into a smother mate. Because then after King f8, King a8, he had played. No, I don't know if that would be smother. No, that wouldn't be smother because he'd have to have played knight c7. He doesn't have that, so maybe. How do we handle when he goes to e2? So queen takes h2, king f1, queen h1, check, king e2. That's I guess we could take the knight with the bishop, couldn't we? After we check. Yeah, let's give her a go. Oh. Thanks. Yeah. Trying to make this checkmate idea work with potentially, let me see, rook takes e2. If queen takes e2, then you have knight takes it takes f3, check, and king f2. There's also queen g3. That wasn't a bad idea. Queen g3 there, check. And king h1. What do we do after that? Rook e2. Takes e2. Let's say queen takes e2. We could play at that point queen g3, check, king h1. If you have a line, I'd be more than happy to go over it. So rook takes e2. Let's see, is it? Is queen there? Then there, okay. So yeah, it's up. It's because we're up 2 pawns. Wow. So we have to. Oops, that was a mouse slip on my part. Yep. Let's get this under our belt. Gotta do better. We could do better. We got this. Let's see. Queen b5. got it. There we go. So check. Let's see if we go E2 check. King H1. Queen's almost trapped. What is our plan? We need to find a plan. Maybe, let me see here. Let's think fat. Let's think really quick. B5. That attacks the rook. So that would go after the rook. Oh, we could do. I am thinking of this. Yeah, but we want a little bit more. Let's take a look at E2 check. King H1. And what if we played Queen B3? Queen B3, and we're now threatening the rook, and we're threatening to potentially come in with some attack. Let me see here. But I gotta tell you, we don't actually mate. You're right. We don't mate in that line. That would actually lose. You always gotta kind of look for these things and just be on the outlook for that. But let's see, is that, I don't know if that's what it all wants is a hmm. If rook b8, let's say queen h6, what do we do after that? That's one thing we have to keep in mind. Someone's telling me queen e6 might be an idea. Knight b5 does attack the rook. Let's see, knight b5. Oh, I think you're right. Nice. That was a tough one. Good find there. Yeah, they do the most forcing line. What would win? Okay, let's see. Queen. Oops. Queen. H5 check. King. We'll say G7. G6. And then that should end up let's see, Queen H5 check. King, let's just say he even goes King G8. We can go G6 still. Oh, why not G6? Well, G6. I'm a little concerned with Bishop B7, which shuts all of our attack out at that point. It blocks all of our attack at that point. It has to be like the total forcing line. It could be knight h4 too. Knight h4, and we then could maybe mate with knight to g6. See, knight check, king there, knight here, and then potentially mate there. Let's see, queen. Queen d6. Let's check this out. Queen d6 check. If rook d7, then queen f8 check. King c7, and queen takes a8. So we pick up a piece in that line. Oh, wait a second. Mate. I missed mate there. Drat. Oops, sorry. Wrong. Should have had a second look there. That was my fault. Yikes. 10 points. Let's see. Pawn takes. This is an interesting one. D takes e5. Oops. D takes e5 check. If king e7, then we have bishop takes g5 check. There we go. Let's get that back. Get back right on the saddle again. Wait, we have to somehow find a way to we got a four. This is a study, so you have to find the knight maneuvers here. Let's see, C5 is an interesting move. First of all, you gotta look at C5. You have to now watch for C5 is an interesting line to look at. have any forks. Sometimes you have to set up for a fork with the king and queen. So you may have to like play like c5. The only problem is I see that the queen can actually go to after c5. The queen can actually go to c7, and I'm not sure how to actually get to the queen after that. Let's check knight to knight. Knight c5. Knight c5. And then we're potentially going to be threatening mate, so yeah, I'm liking that. So check. And now we pick up the queen. There we go. Okay. We'll do one more, and then I'm going to do a Gadakovsky game. And then I'm probably going to log after that. We're doing good. We're getting back in there. We'll get this one. Okay, another study. Gotta love the studies. Okay, let's take a look at this. I believe it's no, it can't be. It's not. Yeah, this one's a study. I'm looking at potentially C3, but that's an idea. But the only problem is if c3, then queen takes f4. We don't have anything after that. Yeah. Actually, we do. Let me see. Yeah, I think let me see. c3, queen takes f4, g3. And I think we're good on that. Yeah, because then if the queen takes, if it takes g3, then we can actually fork the queen. Queen g3, then we can actually fork the queen on knight e4 check. There's a lot of different forking areas that the queen potentially can go to. It's kind of trapped at this point on forking. I believe c3 is the move. And then there. Here we go. There we go. We'll stop here. And then we'll do a Gadakomsky game. Yeah. You just gotta, it's all based, I'll show you. It's all based on, you kind of got to draw in a way. I'll show you on the board all the forking ideas after this. If he takes here, that's a fork. If he comes up here, there's a fork. If he comes right here, fork. And I'm thinking this, if he comes up here, there's a fork. Let's see, is there any other? And this is covered, that's covered, that's covered, that's covered. So if it goes here, or here, or here, then there's forks galore, and you can't go there or here. So all the lines, and even if he takes there, it's a fork. It's just a good, it's a good kinda, and here and there. So even here, yeah. Yeah, these are all forks. I'm sorry. Yeah, not that. Sorry. Sorry. Right. Here, 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 and there are forks. It's all based on the knight maneuvers. It teaches you coordination of your two pieces. Okay. I just wanted to show you that it wasn't a guess that I played. It wasn't a guess. Yeah. I did work out the majority of those lines. I knew the majority of those would be forks. You just have to always make sure that the queen, wherever it goes, is a forking square. Sometimes you have to draw it onto a forking square with those puzzles. And it just teaches you, like I said, I'm probably repeating again, coordination of your pieces, which is nice. Sometimes it's a pain though if you're like, I want to just do a puzzle that's, like a fork, pin, skewer. Those are more complex. There's one that we did that was 2,500. Man, that was an interesting one. Some of those get really interesting, those studies. C5, E6. Okay. Well, there's a kind of trick. You got to be careful. If you play here, and let's say he plays here, here. I always start out kind of with these setups here. Sorry, here, and let's see here. If you play here, there, there. Let's do a, let's see, did I miss something? Let's see, knight takes, d4. There is a, oh, it's right here, my bad. You got to be careful when you first develop this, because there's a trick in the London system that if you you got to be careful. That's why you have to always be careful developing. It looks like it's natural just to develop your knight here. What you need to actually do is develop your knight here, after here, here, and then if he plays there, there's no more sneaky threat here, because the other way it traps your rook. You trap this. Now when the queen takes, the knight's not here, the knight's there, and so you can actually move your rook and attack the queen. Otherwise, the knight would still be back here. That's how important move sequences are. Hey, Fox, how you doing? It's a small difference, but it is pretty huge. See, right here. And then what would happen is he'd push here, and now when we take the knights here instead of it being there. And then there's another little side trick. If he doesn't play his knight, but let's say he plays here, here, let's say here, let's say here, and then let's say he plays this, and here. Now what you could do at this point is take, and even though this knight that was here was guarding this pawn, now you can actually take this pawn, and when the queen takes, you slide over, and now you're protecting the knight and the pawn, and you're also threatening a huge attack with a pin on c4. Oh, you have a game? Okay, put the game in, Fox, and we'll go over it. We're just going over the London system, talking a little bit. This has got Gatakowski versus Shirov, so this is a pretty interesting one. But do you have a game? Yeah, sorry about drinking your guys' ears, but yeah, these are different lines in the London system that it shows you that small nuances of moves really can make a big difference. Like if he takes here, then you have the potential to pick up a piece, but and you have, for a rook, you have two pieces, and two pieces usually win in an endgame. And now you're up a pawn, and in theory this is totally winning. Oh, you're as black, okay. Oh, endgame, loving it. I love endgame. Uh-oh. What in the world? That was odd. Come on, upload. Load. Ah, perfect. Good. Oh, you played Karpov's Sicilian line? Nice. So you're black. Gotcha. C5, knight f3, d6, d4, c takes d4, knight takes d4, knight f6. He did the Sicilian modern variation. That is an interesting line for sure. a6, f3, e6. Okay, so your opponent's got more expansion, but you have a more solidified position, and your opponent's actually more developed too, so they're going to try to go for an attack. Castles. Yeah, it is. Yeah, and King B3. That's a pretty. I've seen that in the Sicilian a lot. This is a prophylactic idea. It gets off of this diagonal here, and so that this bishop can actually do some damage. I predicted that you were going to go B5. Nice. You see what Fox did. Fox noticed that when this move happened, there actually is new weaknesses. The first weakness is the pawn on F3. Second weakness is actually the F4 square. So these are two weaknesses right here. This one, actually this here, and that. Those are both weaknesses, these two spots. Yeah. You also can now develop your knight. Yeah. That's also an idea too for this knight to be rerouted. And Fox isn't he's not making his king to one side or the other. What that means is white is gonna doesn't know which side to attack on. If Fox castle king side, like back here, then white would know exactly what to do. They'd get their bishops here, get their rooks, and start pawn storming. But Fox did not do that. Fox is keeping black. You're keeping your forces in the center, so that if it does get a little too hairy on the king side, you can always, if you needed to, you could always castle queen side. And now all this attack is for nothing, for naught. So it's actually pretty. My teacher told me to keep your opponent guessing. Sometimes not castling is an idea. It allows, it makes them have to think of two plans. What would happen? I'm not sure. F4 something that. So when I. Yeah, I know. I was like, wow, they traded their their bishop off. I can understand why it's slightly bad, but takes. Nice. You won a pawn. Now you're attacking here. D5. Ooh, nice. This is a really strong, and your bishop's outside the pawn chain, so your piece is better than his knight. Now you have another weakness there. Ooh, castles. Now, you see now how Fox decided to castle? This is the right moment too. Would this be a good idea? With a weakness there. and they're trying to poke for any weaknesses. Let's see, where could it actually go? I think it's mate at this point. I think the only move it could do is that. Nice spot of the tactic there. That was from one of our patterns. Nice spot. That's why your opponent resigned. Nice. Nice. Did you see that made all the way to the end? Yeah. Did you see that made all the way to the end, Fox? Where? Okay. Perfect. Then you know what? Tactics are working. That's the whole point of tactics, is so that you can spot them in these games. It's not about the rating, because the rating comes, the rating goes. Well, hey, I told you, with enough sitting down and training, like we always talk about at the end, you were able to apply what you did through our tactical training to be able to find this, because this is a tactic. You had to remove the guard, which the guard was this pawn. That's the first one, and it's also a decoy. So you removed the guard, and you decoyed the king onto a2, and then you come. And actually, back here, we have to do one thing. Sorry, it's a piece sacrifice. It's a sacrifice too. So it's a removing the guard / piece sacrifice. But in the end, you deliver mate, and then now you have another discovery. You see how you put about like 4 or 5 different tactics together? We'll go back one more time and we'll go over it. First of all, you sacrificed a piece, so this is a piece sacrifice. Then you threw in you pulled it to where you wanted it to be on a2. Then you checked, you went there, and then you finished off with a discovery. And then now there's a pin. You have a pin, and then you take it, and it's mate. So it's a whole bunch of tactics combined into one combination. You made one combination, but there's a whole bunch of tactics massed into that. Yeah, so congratulations. We'll do a couple. We'll do 2 more puzzles, and then we'll do like 2 puzzles, and then I'll log. Let's do this thing. Yeah, we kind of had a little down spiral a little bit. So there were some new puzzles that I couldn't see all the way through to, and I missed some of them. But we got 2 back-to-back studies right, so that was worth it. That was cool. What do you think, Fox? Knight, oh wait, knight g3 check, king g1. Yeah, that does hold. Check. That'd be yeah, this is the one. Rook g2 loses the knight. So let me see here. So rook d3, king rook g. It looks good. Okay, let's give it a shot. I think it's nope, it's not that. Oh, okay. Oh, he has to at that point comes there. Let's see, why is that good? Oh, it goes right in between the things. Okay, I gotcha. Then, alright. Gotcha. Let's see, check. We'll finish on this one. Rook e7 check. King g6. I'm thinking that rook e7 check, king g6, and then bishop f7. But I don't think that, I'm not sure if that actually works very good. I don't think so, because I think the queen could, after bishop takes, queen takes f7, and we can't take back because of the back rank problem. Let's see, rook e7, check, king g6, bishop b1, check, bishop f5. Let's see, rook e7, check, and king g6. Queen e4. Check. Bishop f5. Probably, maybe not queen, maybe it's queen d5. d5 check might be better. Not d5. I don't know where I got. Sorry about d5. That's, I mean, d3. d3. Oops. rook's hanging, so we gotta be 100% on all of our stuff. I'm wondering if bishop b1 check, bishop f5, rook, bishop takes f5 check, queen takes f5 check, queen d6 check, and then after queen f6, queen g4 check, rook g7 check, king takes g7, queen takes g7 check, and that covers the square. Well, if he takes with the king, that's even worse if he takes with the king. Okay, we play bishop, bishop takes f5, check, king takes f5, queen e4, check, king g5, and then h4, and I think we're close to mate after king h6. Then we go rook takes h7 mate. What do you think, Foss? Queen takes f5 actually leads to mate. If bishop b1, and actually I'll just do this line here because then it saves me a lot of time of writing. And then queen takes f5, that loses in mate in 1. Queen g7 mate. That's actually mate in 1 after that. So I'm pretty sure it's bishop b1. I'm pretty sure it's bishop b1 if I'm almost 100% sure that it's bishop b1. Yeah, I might be wrong, but I don't think so on this. Oh, whoa. We'll end on this one. This is a good one. Yeah. There, I'll show you all the lines that we worked out. The ones on the B. I'll show you before I log. Okay. Oops, okay, rook here, king there. So bishop here. You guys were wondering if takes. Wham, there's mate. If queen takes, then you got mate in 1. There's your mate. If king comes forward, h, and then you still have that mate. h6, you still potentially have king g5. Oh, sorry, bishop takes here. My bad. And I think there's no way to stop mate. Any move he plays is losing, yeah. Yeah, I don't think there's any real way. So he tried everything. He even gambited the rook. Yeah. So that was a good game. Do you have any questions on this at all? The puzzle? You probably are wondering why doesn't the bishop move work, right? That's probably the number one question. Because of this here. And then if you checked king h, and there's not really much we can do, and he's still threatening back rank mate issues. So, do you have any other questions? I'll give you until 11:46. I'll take that as a no. Okay. Well, I want to thank you all for logging on and for sticking with me. We'll get back there. We'll get back up there. You know what? Remember what Tom Thumb Thumb says. Life is about treasuring your victories and learning from your losses. So we're learning from our losses. Those were new puzzles. Those were kind of tricky ones, but you know what? We learned from them, and we're equipping them in our arsenal of stuff to, when we see it on the board, we'll be able to do it. And congrats, Fox, on seeing that one tactic. Study does pay off. So, and remember that mistakes do not define you. It is how you handle the mistakes that define you. There are no limits. There are plateaus, and you must not stay there. That's what we always remember is there are plateaus. You mustn't stay there. That's what we're trying our hardest. We're pushing and keep on. We just keep going up as hard as we can to get to 2300, and we will get there. You know, we didn't think we were going to get past 1900, but we did. So little by little we will edge past that, and we will get the patterns under our belts. You know, you make mistakes, but remember, treasure your victories and learn from your mistakes. Learn from your losses. That's I believe. Yep. And learn from your losses. Knowing is not enough, we must apply. Willing is not enough, we must do. We always have to remember too that the Lord, I always remember the verse in Job that it says, the Lord giveth, and the Lord taketh away. Blessed be the name of the Lord. It's really important that, you know what, don't make you about your rating, because ratings will go up and ratings will go down. Like I've been watching Anish Giri. Um, he has in his classic rating he went like really far down, but now he's fourth in the world, I believe. And so if we would have judged, his play about maybe a year and a half ago, we would have said, "Whoa, look how low his rate is." But now, since he's improved and learned from all of his losses and has become a better player, he's now fourth in the world. So that it's not where you start, it's where you finish. There's been many a kings that have started out good but have ended bad. So it's about how you end. It's not about how you start your race, because there were two kings that ended really bad in Israel. It was Saul and Solomon. They both started out really good, but they ended up turning out really bad in the end. Their latter days, as it was said in there, was worse than their beginning. And so let's make as a chess player, let's make our gameplay, even if we kind of fumble a little bit in the opening and slightly in the middle game, let's make our ladder, which is our end game, so strong that we either pull a draw or a win. So that's a good example to apply to chess. You may not have a very good opening or middle game, but your end game, if you've mastered it, my friends, will come in handy. And what do we always do? We sharpen our swords, our tactical understanding, and the Lord's given us a mind. And it's like you get those senses when you're at the board and you think there's something wrong in the position. Kind of they call it the spidey sense. I call it the chess sense. And we have the third eye. I'm not like but thing there. I'm just saying though, our mind can sense things. It has a sensory thing that's really cool. So they call it the third eye. I call it the ultimate sensory thing. But what we have to do is remember we study. Remember, that's the one thing. We hang up our coat. We hang up our hat. We sit down and study when most won't we do, and that makes all the difference. And as Wesley so says, serve the Lord Jesus. As I say, God bless, and I'll see you guys next time as Chess Cruncher on Chess Cruncher TV. Have a blessed morning, afternoon, and evening, and Lord willing, I'll be back on tomorrow, and we'll start pushing towards our 2300 level marker. We'll get there. We will. We just have to have attention to detail. Sometimes we make mistakes, but we're constantly learning. Okay, be blessed. Great job. Go Team Chess Cruncher. Hoorah. And I hope to see you again tomorrow. Bye-bye.